like Osmond Gold and like all these other like reactors, you know, like they don't even put out their own real original content. They talk about other people's content. I was like, and they have millions of followers. Like, what am I doing? Like sitting here like, oh, how should I present this? When I could just be like, that looks right. That looks right. Let's look at this. Consider this viewpoint, right? Like, man, can you imagine like having the automation to do all this stuff, getting to play with my dogs all day, and then I like for like social interaction till my humanoid robot shows up. And apparently in September is a good time to start trying to meet people, though I mean we're not like I don't have a hard time with that. In fact, I am gonna build like a see like because this is already built, like I can build anything, right? And there was like one lady I was talking about like how in the future, and this is the future now, like because she said this a few months ago, like you won't be meeting people, like your digital twin will meet other digital twins profiles, and then like the algorithms will like try to narrow down because when you look like this and you have this size brain, like it's like you have so many options, it's so hard to decide what to do on a Friday night, right? um and like yeah, like the like finally the whole like pretty girl syndrome is solved mid 40s, so like yeah, it's been like long past, I guess, that era, but I still don't have issues with that. Um, but like now it's like maybe it'll be easier to manage, or maybe now that I actually like went through the sales training, which actually prompted me to go to counseling, which I started like this week actually. Like I think now and because I'm happy, like I'm genuinely happy on the inside, like now I would make a quality like partner, and before this, like trust me, like I knew that I was like in no way, shape, or form in any condition to like provide support for anybody, because I was like, I gotta like solve a lot of shit in here first. But like it's better now. But according to some psychics, like in September is like the right time. That doesn't mean I don't have things to do this week. Just saying, right? Um, with all that said, right? So like that, all those things are like the things feeding into this. Like, oh my god, why isn't this shit working? Right? Like I should be making more money faster. Like more people should be reaching out to me. Like I'm putting out all this content, right? So then the AI helped me figure out like, okay, well it's not your content. It's not the quality. It's not like how often. It's like where you're putting your content and what you're trying to make your first round of sales. There's data that shows that actually educational material is what most people sell first when they first start on their entrepreneur journey, because you're like learning what your craft better. You're showing that you know your craft, and people want to learn your craft like as you're leaving the trail, because success leaves clues, right? So like, so then that's when like it was this week, I believe. Yeah, it was this week. When like like all the lights turned on in there, right? No, not all the lights. Like I like it's not like I've ever acted in the dark, but after going to the sales training, right, and understanding like how like what even is my mission, what even is my business trying to do, and then like after just like meditating this morning, it's like understanding like, okay, well, like this is suddenly more fun again, because I'll be honest, like it was brutal, like putting together those educational materials, not the funnest thing, right? Like because there's like yeah, the AI can help you like try to scaffold it, but I know like as someone who has taught, so 30 times 9, like 270 children, right? I know that the lesson plan that the AI laid out was like not quality to what I would do as a teacher that understands that there's like tiered TIERED learning that needs to take place with the same part in structured material, and that like there was definitely a way to easier present the information, make the information easier to present and to understand and to implement, right? Because that is what I'm solving for. Like I think that would deter most people from any of this is like having to set up the lambda and the cores, which is the cross origin, like so that your cloud can talk to like the chat GPT API. That's a bitch. And like I even me, like I was like, oh my god, I want to enliven myself, which is a common thing people say in computer science labs. Please don't tell the VA that I'm like threatening and have a plan. I don't. That's just people say there all the time. Okay, like because it's really frustrating. But like I finally made sure that the instructions were clear, that they're like replicable, right? And so that you get the benefit of just building the thing, which is how I came to closer to right here, right? So like I would say right now I'm like right here, right? So I had other metrics like so my metrics are like my bottom line revenue and the the many to one. So the many to one that are asking me for services or products. Because I do have some, right? Like definitely like I've always had people ask me, I don't have a shortage of job opportunities at like a job, right? But I'm transitioning from working for somebody for to working for a business as a vendor, which is different from a contractor. Okay. So like those are my two metrics. Just making sure that I have like okay there. I really need water. So water, water. They don't pay me. I don't get sponsored by anybody, and I don't think I ever will accept like sponsorship payout. I can't say for sure. Like there might, like maybe markers. Like stuff that doesn't directly impact my ability to give you the most authentic information. You want to send me microphones, markers, more of these boards. What else? I'm partial to Macs. Like I would really like a Mac with the silicone chip. If you make if you make kombucha, like I'll drink it. Like how did they like I'll drink it in this clever way, right? So that like the product placement thing, right? I won't be like, buy kombucha. I drank some today. I'll be like, oh, this stuff tastes delicious. Man, what flavor is this? Health Aid kombucha? Pomegranate and blueberry. I'm gonna send some to my grandma. Just my grandma's passed. Right? But like that and that's actually like that's no, like all joking aside, if you are going to promote yourself on TikTok, you need to be clever like that, right? Like they don't want salesy shit on there. Like you'll get banned if you don't claim that you're trying to sell. But if you let them know you're trying to sell, then not everybody sees your content. But if you're like clever and just a little bit more suave about it, like I think it just goes down easier. Because I know that I pay extra to not have to watch ads, which is crazy, right? Like it's crazy that I have to like pay people to let me watch them talk about other people's videos, but not like about products. But no, like all, but for, well, I shouldn't say, but no, I'm gonna say, and yes, I will always maintain my integrity in terms of at least my capacity and my understanding of what the tech does. If I were to get an arms dealer's license and I was writing tech that was going to make something that wiped out organic life, even if it's blades of grass. Like I would openly say that, unless I signed for some security reasons. Like I do respect this country and like I can't talk about stuff I saw in the Navy and I didn't even see anything crazy, even in the crypto, like the few months I was in the crypto side. But I still have like I think it's like a 20-year, like you can't talk for 20 years about some stuff, right? So if I got something like that, like yeah, I would keep my mouth shut because that's what I agreed to because it was for reasons that I aligned with, right? Just like when I've left companies and signed non-disclosures or joined companies and signed non-disclosures, I would talk about that, right? But still, like if Nvidia sent me a processor, like they did Matt Wolf, I don't know if he ever made videos about him using that processor. I have no idea. But it was like, let's say like some other manufacturer, right? Or like Tesla sends me a Tesla bot, right? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be partial to Tesla bots. Or like, didn't Cody Sanchez like contribute to figure eight? See, I've thought about moving to Austin. Like I really am making those plans. Because it's calling me the same way Boulder did when I moved to Boulder or ended up in Boulder, right? It's calling me. So I feel like eventually I'm gonna end up in Austin. Um, and I don't know when, but or maybe not, like that's kind of part of like accepting the journey, right? Because I don't have to be anywhere, but I do need to take another sip of this House Aid kombucha, pomegranate blueberry flavored. Look at that. Look at even the like like the way they packaged it, it's like buy me because I'm pink with red and I must taste good for that reason. And they even have like the little savor thing. They should hire me to do their marketing. All right, so back to this chart, right? Actually, this is the nitty gritty. So if I remember to, I'll put in the comments that you should really just scroll to 1 hour 22 minutes. And I'm gonna go faster in this part because this part is like when I'm in my flow state, and it's the other side of my brain that is just like spitting out the stuff that's like the gears that are all connected, right? Okay, so like I'm gonna time box 5 minutes. Like this is the probably most important part of the video of like how the stochastic gradient descent all ties into all the stuff that I was talking about earlier, which is still even more important than this, because it doesn't matter how technically skilled you are, you gotta solve whatever the thing is. You gotta solve that first on a fucking soul level, especially if you're going through a quarter life or midlife crisis. Like you gotta solve the thing inside because this is an inside job, and then like everything gets easier. Otherwise, you're just Sisyphus, the guy that like kept rolling the rock up the hill and it kept rolling backwards. Like this is the way to circumvent Sisyphus, but you do need to do the soul work, right? Whatever that means to you. Like I can't dictate, but like it's like heal from the inside too, so that it transmutes to the outside. So, um, okay, so I don't think you can see this, but it just says like AI automation as a software. So that's one category. Educational how to's, how to do both things like automation and the AI via API. So I decided I'm not going to do educational stuff on automation in Python, especially because the newer models are able to code, for you. Like you can ask it to write automation for you. So and it's a lot harder to teach. And then you have like 200 plus blogs with automation, so like I can easily add as many URLs as I want for like dirt cheap. And that's what this first course that I'm like making available, offering to teach you or to build for you. Okay, so each of these three categories was like what I was asking the AI, like how do I decide what is the most expeditious way to get to my metrics, which is more net revenue and more many to one people coming to me to ask me for the thing, right? So then the way that this breaks down is I could either focus on lead generation blogs, or I could focus on affiliate market links and sales and linking to people's businesses that ask me for that service. Um, and the AI was like, just do both. Like you pretty much already have it. And I agree. Like I just have to fix my AWS account because they cancel it if you don't make any sales for like a certain amount of time. And since I hadn't worked on it, like it eventually lapsed. So I just need to enter my EIN again and all that, which is the business number, like a social security number for your business. Um, and then this we already talked about these educational things. Like I'm gonna not spend time on automation with Python, right? Because that's like way trickier, and like this is already pretty much done, and I've already verified that it should work for any circumstance, any operating system, Windows, Macintosh, beginners, like mid-level. As long as you have like minimal tech savviness, like minimal, like talking like you can figure out how to click your mouse, like you should be able to make it work. It's not easy, but I also show you how to get your own answers through like the AI, so that you're never stuck, right? And if you do get stuck, that's why I make available the Zooms very regularly that are not free, but you should really like not need them. And the reason is because then now, like that we have Strawberry or the O1 model, or it used to be called Q Star. Who knows? Maybe these are all just like I don't know, but whichever, like the latest models, like no matter which latest model is available, like this code and this system will still work because of the way the code is written and the API is written, and you will never have to struggle finding, pardon me, a developer to go fix this thing. Like you will always be able to go back to this thing. That's why I wrote it that way. And like the AI isn't going to have to spit out lines and lines of complex Python code that might or might not work, even though it's getting better and better. Excuse me, like you basically like switch out your sentence or your prompt, and then it works every time. And then from this, I can actually build on other courses that make it like more specific. Like I wanted to always know exactly what's on all the pages on my website so that someone can just go ask it questions. Or I wanted to be able to answer questions if someone's going to hire me. I want them to ask my AI questions instead of them having to ask me directly. Here's all my um resumes or whatever, like stuff like that, right? Or um like here is my dating profile. I want you to help me like use the memory that you have of me and like help me make it better, or like just like all sorts of things like that, right? So like once you build the one, it's very easy to build as many use cases as you want. You might even, maybe you had started out being a babysitter, but then you're like, man, I'd rather just build these like um reasoners. They're called reasoners. So it was chatbots and then agents, and right now we're in the age of reasoners. Okay, like in less than a year, we are already more than halfway to what AGI is, which is like, right? But don't say nobody saw it coming. I have my most impressive video is the one where I say I think I built a babi-AGI. This was like not even a year ago, and like I did because it just has like the ability to use its own logic to make reasoning decisions based on branching. But anyway, like all of that can be done with these systems. This one's like the basic one where you can just ask something questions, upload a file, and then it can like tell you something about whatever you uploaded. You can adapt it for whatever you need for your business, for yourself, for your aging parents that might not want to read all of their own medical records, right? The data is yours. Like, what, like whatever use case you can think of, I wrote the code that way, so it's abstracted enough. That's what it means to be able to write automation, which I did professionally, like for like about 2 years. Okay, so the stochastic gradient descent, right? Like I asked the AI, like, what am I doing wrong? We decided I need to focus on making these educational materials. And I can tell you, like, almost immediately, like the next day, literally the next day, when I shifted my focus to that, is when I got like 4 more leads coming in. Like I didn't have to go knock on doors, make phone calls, like they came to me, right? Other than I had to make sure that I was findable and I rank at the top for this stuff, right? So like now, and that was solved with the automation. So like that's why I sell like be findable, rank at the top, because people will come looking for you, but they need to know where you are. So you still do marketing, but it's not expensive marketing. It's not through Google. It's not through Facebook, and it's just like guerrilla style, because I really did learn a lot of like interesting ways to get things done in the different places I worked at and stuff that I know, and just like, street cred kinds of level stuff, right? Um, all all actually, and just to be clear, all of it is ethical and AI safety aligned. Okay, just to be clear. Okay. And we're not taking jobs from anybody. We're like just basically making sure that our business has clients, right? So if you, I mean, unless you decide to take someone's job because your bots do it better, that was my, I never actually hired anybody when I was gonna. I decided I would rather spend the time building my reasoners than training a human. So I didn't take the job from a human. I just am creating the reasoner. But there are new things that I need from humans that I might pay for in the future, but I'm trying to build a one person business, so that's not my goal. My goal isn't to keep more humans employed. My goal is to reach my metrics, right? And if like I've never said that it was my responsibility to build a business for other people, but with my business thriving, right, I can manage to have the Airbnb for vets and their pets and all the other real estate I have, and like need help with from True Green with the lawn. You know what I mean? Like it trickles down, maybe not necessarily in the business, but because of the business, right? Just to be clear, like there is that need for vindication. Like you're not pushing evil, you're not taking jobs, you're like creating a better life for yourself, and that trickles down to other systems that are like dependent on your thriving. Okay, so that's the other stochastic gradient descent, right? Like where I had to go back and like be okay with what I'm doing and like make sure that it's aligned with my soul and like how I feel about things. And I'm not just selling stuff to make money. I'm like making sure that you also are successful to the best of my ability by giving you a system that like is replicable. And that's how we get to this part that we are at right here, because I think before I'm ever able to feel okay with what I'm selling you, I need to make sure that you're really clear on what this is, because I invented this. Like nobody taught me this, but I'm an architect. Like I'm a scientist. Like I should be able to invent something, right? Especially I have all these years understanding like the digital space. So I don't. Can you see this? Yes, you can. You can't see the words so easily. See if I can bring it. But I'll read them to you in any case. Okay. So like, this is like the map, right? This is like when I finally get to have like the automation build on itself and people are downloading the product and it's the flywheels are turning and like everything else that I need is in place. Like that's my X marks the spot. Um, okay, so like that's my pirate. That's why I call it digital pirates.media. Like literally, like we are the first voyaging out there in this way that I know of. And I scour, right? But I also like literally myself thought it up. It's not like the AI thought it up for me. I was like, I can connect these pieces. I've been building this since last year, on and off, like when I've had time between contracts and jobs and stuff and other life duties. So the internet, see, I'm blocking the light right there. Okay, the internet was like this, right? Like this is your keywords right here, like that white dot, like the food that Pac-Man used to go chase. Like it would be inside of the matrix, right? If you think about the internet as a matrix, which it is, that's what the algorithms are. Like the algorithms basically define the matrix, right? The matrices that your viewers, so like the viewers or the clients, whatever, like the person looking for your thing, right? Like they follow the algorithms. The algorithms push them to where your thing is. You just have to make sure that you're in the way of the algorithm, which is what keywords and SEO and having the right hashtags means, like digitally, right? So like the algorithms have the path. So like all you had to do was make sure to be in the right place at the right time when the user or the client or the prospect is upon that path. That's the way it was, right? And then Uh, so what this says is traditional internet with only keywords, the algorithms always go to the keywords and the changes or updates to Google are predictable. So that's why a lot of people talk about the updates to the algorithms, is because they feel like they're so unpredictable now. Like we don't even know. Okay, well, that if you truly understand algorithms, which I excelled at, I did get an A in that class. But I still like I genuinely I'm so good at algorithms because I really understand cryptography and it's all just a matter of understanding patterns, right? But even beyond that, like you can actually position yourself, which is how I wrote all of this, right? Like so that no matter what the algorithms are doing, like not only are you always in the path of the algorithms, no matter what happens to the algorithms, you are actually like the most prized food that Pac-Man wants, which is like when the ghosts are like blinking in and out. And if you've never played Pac-Man, and this is I'm talking from like something that happened in the 80s and you're a millennial, basically like uh you want to get as many points as possible. You used to be able to get them from pellets, right? You can always get them from pellets in Pac-Man. But then if if it's about to change, like if the layout is about to change, the ghosts start to flash different colors. Typically the ghosts will kill you. But when they're flashing different colors, you actually make a lot of points by eating them. So you can always be, instead of being the pellet, right? You can always be like one of the ghosts, no matter what happens to the algorithms. And like okay, I'm probably going to be out of camera for a second, and but actually like I really want to make this point because this is like the fundamental shift in these algorithms, and I want to knock everything down here. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can show you this more clearly. All right, this is harder than it looks, right? Oh, this one. I'm trying to use like, okay, it's the opposite of what I think it's gonna be. So it's gonna be this way. And then right here, okay, like if you notice this Pac-Man right here, the algorithms are like, he could take many paths. We don't even have quantum computers yet. When we have quantum computers, like he can be in more than one place at the same time, making decisions about which is the best next many paths it could take, right? So and that's a very very high level way of thinking about it. But if you look at it like, right, like compare what Pac-Man can do now that we have AI and that we have like AI search engines, right? Like now Pac-Man can go wherever, right? Versus over here, Pac-Man was gonna have like one solid path to get to the pallet, right? And over here, okay, like he wants to get to this ghost, right? So like, and he has all these different ways. Am I making you guys dizzy? Okay, okay. So he has all these ways. I should have just put this camera on one of those stands. But anyway, I don't even know if you can hear me because I'm way over here and this microphone's way over here. So let me try to make sure that you can hear me. Okay, so to reiterate, so see how Pac-Man now had like this is what it means to have AI search engines. This is what it means to have. We don't even have, like I said, quantum computing yet, but that will be available soon enough. Like it's right around the corner, which means that he can even be in more than one path at the same time, making decisions. Right. So he no longer has this just what Matthew would call it discrete path. Like discrete means that it's basically boxed in, or it has like one set that it can follow. So Pac-Man, so this is the way the internet used to look, right? Like the keywords are right here. The algorithms are the purple paths. No matter what, as long as you had your keywords, eventually the paths would lead Pac-Man to your keywords and your SEO. Now you don't have to play the part of just a palette because of the way that these files are written that I'm letting you know about over here. Like the way like these examples and what I show you in that first downloadable course, you can actually be like this ghost that when it flashes when the algorithms are about to change, they're actually worth a lot more money and they're no longer deadly, right? So like you no longer will be caught in the trap of like once the algorithms change over here, like you're trapped with your stuck in the mud keywords and SEO that won't work when the algorithms change because if my if my dot was over here in this algorithm, right? Like the algorithms would have never found him with my SEO and my keywords. So I have to like change all my SEO and my keywords. Well, the difference is in what I'm showing you with this stuff I'm building, right? And I show you how to build in these courses. You can position yourself like this guy. So like that this is like the agents. This is why I don't use low code, no code. Further, that's why I put JSON inside of the HTML. That's why I chose HTML, is because I have like very granular control of what it is that the algorithm is able to use to detect that the food that Pac-Man is looking for is there. So like over here, all he has is like SEO and keywords, right? And